In this video we'll show how you can take a list control that is on a UX component and insert buttons into each row that the list renders and then define a custom JavaScript action for the particular button. So you can see in this list here we're displaying data from the Northwinds customer table, and if I click on a button we're going to open up another UX component showing the data for the row that I clicked on. So there's the data for the row for the customer Anton. If I go there and click on this button over there, you can see we're displaying the data. So let's go back now and look at how we modified the list control definition to include a custom button in the list. So we'll go back to design mode here and bring up the list builder, and we see that in the list builder, in the field section, we clicked the add item button and we chose button. So there's our button over there. We gave the button a name. The name is arbitrary. It doesn't matter what name you actually give it. And then the most important part was we went to the on-click event and we defined the event that will be executed when the user clicks the button. So when we click the on-click, we can specify the JavaScript that we would like to run, and in this JavaScript you can see here that what's available to us is row number, which is the row number that the user actually clicked on. But because we're going to be using Action JavaScript, we didn't have to actually worry about that. So let's open up the JavaScript editor again, and we want to now open up another UX component and show data for the current row in the list. So we did that using Action JavaScript. So that what we did was we clicked the create edit JavaScript actions, and we defined an action called open form, and that's our own arbitrary name there. And if we edit this action, we see that what the action does is open a UX component, and we're opening the component called UX_customers, and we specified that we would like to populate the component with data from a table. We specified that the primary key that determines which data the UX component will be populated with should be read from one of the controls on the current component, and we're going to read the value of the customer ID from the list control, list number 1. There could be more than one list control on this component, and then the customer ID field. So we specified here that the primary key that of the record we would like to populate the target component with is to be read from list number 1 and then the customer ID field. So having done that, then we just go ahead and click OK and then click save, and now we've defined an action called open form, and then we went here, we clicked on run JavaScript action and we chose open form, which then inserted this code over here. So now when we click the button, this little snippet of JavaScript is going to run, which in turn will run the Action JavaScript to open up the UX component showing the correct record. Then we went to our list layout, and you can see now that the button is now one of the available columns that we can place in the list, and if we click on button there we can change the heading. We can actually completely remove the heading so that it looks a little bit better, and then save it. Now go back to working preview, so now there's no longer a heading above button. And then if I click on any row now, you can see our Action JavaScript opens up another component showing the data for the current row. So what we've shown here is that you can put an arbitrary number of buttons inside the list control, and that you can define your own JavaScript to execute when the button is clicked. And when you define the JavaScript for the button, you can take advantage of the full power of Action JavaScript. So the ability to put your own custom buttons in the list is a very powerful feature, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. Thanks very much.